Craftsman here, and just want to give you a little update on this miter saw station. In the previous video you saw they kind of had it basically roughed together, and I saw a couple photos of it, how it's going to sit. So I do have it in place, and I have it leveled, and I've got the saw leveled. And what I will say is that these aluminum extrusions that I got, I think we got them in '99. It was from the Saw Helper company, and they're yet to be true. That's why I'm not really excited about aluminum extrusion fence. I even look at the fast cap, and the fast cap might even be better. Maybe these warped over time where they were set up, I'm not sure, but they do have a slight bow to them, and I've got it leveled to the point where it's 100% better than what it was, but still not exactly where I want it to be. But this is basically set up here until I replace the miter saw. Once I replace the miter saw, I'm actually redoing the fence itself. And I mentioned that in the previous video, but basically I'm going to be making my own version of the glide stop. And basically it's going to have the preset stops, but it's actually going to have a flip stop, which is one thing that the glide stop does not have. The glide stop, for me to buy it, just for that aluminum extrusion and the stop, the 4-foot section and a 8'6" section is about $600 delivered, just for the extrusion and the stop block. Doesn't include a platform for anything. So basically I'm going to kind of make my own version of that using an aluminum extrusion that I found that's readily available. So it might not be as simple and easy as the glide stop, but if I only have $250 into it versus $600, you know, I'm still money ahead. So other than that, you know, it performs much like it's supposed to. I do need to redo the hood for the dust collection system, and to do that I need to actually slide this cabinet down about 10 inches. I still have room here yet, and then I can make a nice hood that'll fit into here. I've been browsing Google Images trying to find different versions, and there's a lot of different versions out there. But the one thing I noticed is that no matter what you do, whenever you have a miter saw that has this big arm in the back, they take up a lot of space regardless. And you know, I do have more room here now than what I had before, because the saw just kind of worked its way out to the front, and I probably had from here to the back wall before, so that means the saw was sticking out another, you know, 6 or 7 inches. So I am happy with that. So underneath here, yeah, that's another part of this project. I'm actually going to be putting a couple pieces of melamine on the bottom on this side here for general storage for the time being. And this side here, I'm actually going to build a scrap storage department that's actually going to store all of our usable cutoffs. But other than that, here's the miter saw station, and like I said, it's a lot more solid than what it was before. These benches are just leveled and sitting on the floor, and surprisingly enough, I didn't spend a lot of time leveling the benches. I did spend a fair amount of time though leveling the saw. I bet you I probably spent about an hour and a half to get the fences and the saw square and level. So there was a little trick to that, and in my previous video you might have seen the picture where I showed how the saw gets leveled, and it works really good. It's just that just like anything else, when you level one side you mess with the other, so you have to constantly work your way around all 4 posts to get it nice and level. And that's where I kind of noticed that these extrusions weren't flat, so they have yet to be desired, and I can't move them any closer to the saw for the simple reason I need to have some clearance here because of the part of the miter saw itself. So I've got about ½ inch there, yeah, about 3/8 there. Now that means I can move this one down a little bit, but I'm not moving these. It clears. That's all that I'm concerned. So, and like I said, this cabinet's got to get moved over for, number one, for building a new dust hood, and number two, so that way the saw will have more clearance when it's tilted for a compound miter or a bevel. So the overall cost of this project to do this, not including the miter saw or the fence, so far I have about $220 into the steel framework. The local welding shop did that for me. And the plywood I used on top, I was originally going to use melamine, but it's like, you know what, melamine is just cheap and dirty. I don't like melamine in general. I do like a cabinet that has a white interior, but I don't care to work with melamine. And I know a lot of custom shops around here, they like to use melamine, and part of the reason is it's a nice clean look, but at the same time it's a very cheap product. You can buy melamine for 25 to 30% of the cost of a good plywood. Now this here, I actually used a UV pre-finished birch plywood that was readily available at one of the big box stores, and you know, it was $42 a sheet, so it was compared to melamine, which was $25. You know, it was a little less than half, but it doesn't have the same quality of the material that I buy from my lumber supplier. The stuff that we get here, it's a step above and beyond what you can buy in the big box store. And probably for this UV pre-finish, it wouldn't be a big deal. But when it actually comes to the actual veneers, such as the oak and the birch veneer, that's where I've seen there's a lot of delamination, and I just don't want to be liable for a failing product because of a poor veneer. So that's why all of our sheet stock and solid stock we buy through an industrial lumber supplier. But for this project here, I wasn't going to call them up for, you know, two $80 sheets of pre-finish maple plywood probably, and then pay another $75 delivery charge. So I just went and got it from the big box store. And for the bottom, I got some 1/2 inch melamine, and I'm kind of wishing I would have gotten 3/4, but it'll work for what we need to do. Okay, so there's the lower shelf I was talking about. We're just going to line this with melamine, make a shelf and 2 sides. Then I'll probably put a partition, probably about 2 partitions in there. One partition just with vertical storage for cutoffs from the panel saw. Okay, and then the other part, this will divide it again with, I'll do some cleats, and then I can put some shelves in there that I can adjust at whatever height I want for different size cutoffs. And so this 2/3 of this will be cutoffs from the miter saw, which will be solid stock. As I mentioned, I really need to redo the dust hood, and that'll be a kind of a quick project. Might actually see if I can get my dad, who's an HVAC contractor, to make one out of sheet metal for me. Might actually look a little bit better and work just as well. I'm going to use the same concept. I'm going to have it come out probably about this far, and then it's going to bevel back to the wall with about 1 inch, and then the piece going all the way down about 1 inch from the floor. That creates a real high velocity vacuum, and I had it on my last one. It actually worked really well, and I saw a couple of similar designs on Google Images. So because when you restrict the vacuum, you get a higher velocity, which is kind of what you're after to pick up from down here. And then here's the other side. I'll line this with melamine shelving for the time being. I got a bunch of totes I got at Home Depot to start organizing stuff. And the one thing, I don't even want to show you guys this, but I'm going to. Got a bunch of these dollar shoe boxes, and I saw it on Izzy Swan, where he had organized his shop just with a bunch of shoe boxes kind of above here. I might go here, but I'm going to for surely go down here. So I might actually make some more adjustable shelving to fit those shoe boxes in, those plastic, you know, what do I call them? Storage boxes or totes underneath here. And then this section, eventually I put a rack up in there outside the shop here to store all the hardware. I'm going to put that back over here and free up some space on the other wall. So this was kind of a dual purpose project. It was more so to, first of all, to make the miter saw fence sound and solid, and then also to increase the storage and organization a little bit better. So there you have it. Alright, as I finish up this project, I'll probably post one more video just showing as far as how this here is getting organized, and then mostly how the short stock is getting organized over here, because I really want to eliminate stacking stuff up here again. So, alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Questions and positive comments are welcome. Thanks for watching.